Hey guys, before we get started with today's video, I just want to talk about the coronavirus situation that we all find ourselves in. The ride in this video originally happened March 21st, almost 3 weeks ago. And although the situation here in BC has changed a lot since then, there were still social distancing rules in place at that time. We rode in an area that doesn't typically see a lot of other trail users, and we did distance ourselves from the ones we did see. But unfortunately, we didn't really distance ourselves from our friend Trevor, who we were riding with that day, and that was definitely an oversight on our part. Also, we were riding some fairly gnarly trails, and some of you may have a problem with that, but I was never out of my comfort zone, and if I was, I skipped the feature. Anyhow, after you watch the video, let me know what you think in the comments. But enough talk, let's get to the video. Today on BC POV, rock slabs.
Nice.
Big ones.
Holy crap.
Last week on the channel, my wife Yuka and I went on our very first ride on our brand new bikes. We rode some flowing single track through some beautiful BC forest, and then we hit my home trails in Abbotsford, where we rode some pretty unusual trails. And while that was a bunch of fun, the riding wasn't overly technical. Now, anybody that's watched the channel before might know that I'm into technical riding, and that big rock slabs are some of my favorite trail features. And I really want to try some slab out on my new bike. So with that in mind, we headed to Squamish, BC, a place that's absolutely littered with rock slabs. And those that know Squamish will know about the two most popular riding areas there, Alice Lake and Diamond Head. But there's another area there called Valleycliffe that doesn't get nearly the same attention as its two siblings. And well, there's a good reason for that. For one, it's an absolute maze of trails. And since most of the trails here were built by moto guys that just like to go uphill, there are no real climbing routes for mountain bikes. It's pretty much a hike-a-bike to get to the top here. So luckily for us, we've got Trevor along for the ride. He's the creator of Trail Forks, and he's been spending the last while exploring the area and mapping out the trails here. And he's discovered a few gems he wants to show us. So one brisk Saturday morning, we headed up to see what kind of trouble we could get into. And before we knew it, we were on our first hike-a-bike. But, as I mentioned earlier, the trails here were built by moto trials people that like to go straight up. And this climb was just doable on a mountain bike. We did eventually get to the top though, and got some views to go along with it. And the first trail that Trevor's chosen for us is called Southside. And things start out pretty vertical. Of course the GoPro effect doesn't make it look as steep, but if you want to get an idea of the steepness, take a look at the trees on the side. They always grow straight up and down and will give you an idea of the grade here. And it doesn't take long to get to an alternate line that makes us consider things a little.
Yeah, you gonna go straight over that bump or around? Straight.
But with a little repositioning,
Maybe I can start there, Yuka.
the grip on the Squamish granite is fantastic though, and we can just crawl down it using mostly our front brake.
Yeah, lots of grip.
It's Yuka's turn next though, and I reminded her of which brake to use.
Lots of front brake, remember?
Front is right.
No.
Left.
What the fuck?
Yeah, you got it.
Nice.
Yes, front like that. Remember.
Oh, that was sweet.
Lower down, there was a rock drop that I just didn't feel comfortable doing.
Oh.
And this second one didn't feel quite right either. But lower down, after these rock slabs, this third drop didn't seem so bad.
Oh. Go to the right.
It's just that the landing is a little narrow. But after making myself a little runway, I think I've got this.
Oh
yeah, that was perfect.
As we continued down, there were a few jumps and things to play around on. And near the bottom, some janky features to finish off our first lap.
Fun.
Yeah.
We're back in BC, Yuka.
Oh my god.
With the first lap giving us a taste of what Valleycliffe had to offer, we're keen for some more. So after another hike-a-bike, we're at the top again for lap 2. This time for a ride down Cougar Ridge. It's a shorter trail, but that doesn't mean it's any easier than the rest. And after a small break to take in the view, we're straight into it. The trail is a quick succession of rock slab that takes you to the bottom in no time at all. And while it's steep, and believe me it is, we're able to crawl down them at relatively low speeds. The key to riding these slabs is to really trust your front brake since it's doing most of the work for you. And in order to make that front brake effective, you gotta make sure you're riding in a neutral position on your bike. Being too far back means you'll lose grip on your front tire, which is exactly where you need it.
It's a bit of a free fall there for a bit.
At the end of that mini lap, we wanted just one more lap. So one last hike-a-bike later, and we're back at the top. This time to ride a trail called Labor of Love. Possibly one of the most classic trails at Valleycliffe.
Oh, we have to go left there? Holy crap. Oh, I'm going the wrong way a little. Ugh.
And right off the top, we've got a pretty interesting feature. A rock slab to ladder bridge to rock slab.
So I just keep pressing.
Oh, this is a pretty interesting feature. Oh, there's a stupid stump sticking out here. Nice.
How's that down there? Is it looks good?
It's pretty committing.
What's that? No. Looks steep from here. That's pretty chill.
The alternate line also looks kind of spicy.
I kind of want to do this one now.
Yeah, it doesn't look bad from here though.
And being a completionist, I've got to bag that one as well. But it turns out that the hike-a-bike might be even harder than the descent.
I think this is pretty chill.
And of course, Yuka wants to give it a try.
Whee!
After a few log rides, we arrive at what is a bit of an infamous feature.
Oh yeah. This is where Annie hurt herself.
Annie?
The girl in Paul's video.
Yes, Paul the punter filmed this trail with some friends, and unfortunately Annie broke her collarbone on this feature.
Oh! Oh, are you okay?
What happened? Holy, my shoulder.
It's such an unlucky thing to happen, but 3 months after the accident, she was back on her bike and doing well. Anyhow, I guess it's time to take the plunge.
Here we go.
After watching the footage of Annie's crash and actually being there, I think this is the route that she actually hit. And Yuka's up next.
Nice. Easy?
No! Did you see me losing the balance? I almost died here.
You almost died.
Yes!
No.
BC is gonna kill me one day.
It's a good thing you're wearing full face then.
Oh yeah. I need a neck brace too.
As we continued down, there were yet more rock slabs to have fun on. So Valleycliffe doesn't get the same attention that other parts of Squamish get, but that doesn't mean it's no good. If you're willing to hike your bike straight up the mountain and enjoy a slab or two, you may enjoy riding here. Just keep an open mind, expect an adventure, and maybe bring someone that knows the area, and you'll be sure to have a great day on the bike. And as we finished on this one last rock slab, thanks for watching and stay gnarly.
Double elbow.